Hello and welcome back to A Journey to King's Cross, a Harry Potter book podcast. We just finished up Chapter 5, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. Honestly, that's a bit of a tongue twister right there if I ever did have one.
Say that 5 times fast. Just wait till you hear about the tongue coffee.
Yeah. I have to admit, though, I do kind of like going through the whole chapter and stuff along stuff. Mr. Weasley does raise a very good point and stuff along those lines, and how against his whole messaging and philosophy and stuff that the twins' actions went against them. Though equally fair, Dudley's kind of a dick.
We haven't gone over the cover art yet.
Oh, fair enough.
Or the chapter art.
We have Charlie and Bill dueling tables. We've got them. You actually get to see a picture of the Burrow in the background, and both of the actual older brothers, with a round and a long table bashing into each other in the middle of the air.
Perfect.
I love it.
It's great.
I have to admit, their wands are really tall in proportion to their bodies.
I think it just happens to do with the art.
I mean, fair, but
considering
their wands
some look as tall, as long as they are.
It probably is more of a telescopic painting.
It could be where we're viewing it from, because you can actually see the curvature of the Earth basically and
right.
the actual part. But to be fair, some wands have been known to exceed 12 inches and stuff and everything. So theoretically speaking, depending on how big and tall they are, those theoretically could, still be canonically accurate in terms of wandling.
True.
We don't really get any moments where we actually talk about individual wands outside of the weighing of the wands further down in the chapter, and they're obviously not the individuals in question that go through that.
True. But as we were
talking, the whole mishap with the tongue toffee fallout and everything.
He's like, hey, you can't, be doing that to muggles. It doesn't matter if he deserves it.
To be fair, the power imbalance and everything, it does kind of feel like punching down, even if Dudley's a prick.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I get both halves of it, so to speak, and everything. We kind of get a little, taking ourselves away from, what we know and stuff when it comes to Dudley and everything. A couple of, wizarding twins basically picking on a poor kid on the middle of a diet and everything is relatively cruel.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
And cruel.
Sorry about that. Makoto's apparently wanting some attention because she's not being allowed to...
No. Your cat's under your chair.
My cat's under my chair?
Yep.
Why is my cat under my chair when I've got both of the dogs?
She's trying to get in here to get love.
Oh.
And Makoto is trying to play with Pixel.
I did not realize Pixel was
Yeah, I just saw
down
her
here.
head right here, so where'd she go?
My poor baby.
Oh yeah, she's back here behind me now.
Huh.
So if you hear any yipping, whining, hissing, growling, nobody's getting hurt. It's just a puppy trying to play with a cat that says, no thanks.
Yeah, the cat's the oldest person out of the 3 pets and stuff along those lines.
That are in the room right now, yeah.
Grumpy old lady.
Yeah, she's not exactly happy with the 1-year-old.
6-month-old.
Fair enough. Anyway.
Big difference when it comes to a dog.
Yes.
We, of course, get the introduction to both Bill and Charlie.
Oh, we forgot real quick when Arthur... Oh, wait, no. I guess they got introduced first before Molly. Never mind.
We're working our way through it.
We get a real introduction to them.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we could have introduced Charlie during the whole Norbert thing and stuff along those lines, but, fair enough. Charlie being a bit Charlie and Bill basically being the alternate spectrums of the boys in the school and in the household and everything works out. But yeah.
And Harry's description of Bill is just, he's cool. Idol worship a little bit, I guess.
To be perfectly honest, I've actually heard a couple of people implying that Harry might be a little bi in that department, considering how much he seems like, you know what I mean?
How descriptive he is of male characters.
Especially considering, I know it's, guy to another guy could totally say another guy's cool and everything without it being gay. But, of course, the fandom is going to ship.
Right, and I mean, hey, Even SNL recognizes, if for any of you guys watching this, if you haven't seen it, SNL put out a skit in lieu of the new TV show being done by HBO, which is notorious for its intimate shows. So they did
I'm unaware of this.
and HBO's. Oh, okay. Well, go watch SNL skit about Harry Potter. It's great. It's a little heated, to say the least.
You okay?
But
there?
not with Draco, surprisingly.
I'm pretty confident. Like.
And hey, it's really funny because there's an unexpected casting for Hagrid. I'm not gonna spoil it. Go watch it. It's great.
I think we need to watch this after a podcast.
We probably
absolutely
should.
We're gonna watch it after this podcast. Anyway, Bill is. I totally see Harry being bi.
To be perfectly honest, I don't. But I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum, especially considering God knows how many people in the fandom have probably kept the series alive on pure Harry Draco fanfiction alone.
Fair.
I'm not going to call Harry bi. Maybe curious. He's 14.
I mean, fair. This is the point in one's life where you start figuring that sort of stuff out.
True, and I mean, it reminds me of a Harry Potter musical, and they not only sort you into your houses, but your sexuality. They make Harry metrosexual, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's pretty funny. Go watch the musical; it's great. Anyway, back to the show.
Get back to the show. Fair enough. We of course get their introduction and everything, and I was listening to this and I was like, Ron, you've been in this household for how long and you don't know how to read a room when your mom's getting ready to rip into somebody?
Yeah, see, we glossed, I knew we were going to gloss over this, that no matter how much Arthur Weasley disagrees with his children's actions, he never means it when he says he's going to tell their mother. Because while she's a good threat, he knows that she's a threat.
He knows that he's not going to be, like, he's going to be hearing an earful himself. To be perfectly honest, he's like, don't make me tell your mother, and then we'll all be sorry, because I have to listen to the lecture now.
Right. He's like, don't make me tell your mother. Tell me what?
Shit.
Ah, shit. Now I have to tell her, or else she'll never let it go.
I still can't get over the fact that you'd think with all of the shenanigans the twins have gotten up to and everything, Ron would have known when to make himself scarce.
You would think.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that throughout the rest of the series, he... actually, especially this book, he's constantly foot in mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
All things, yeah. I have to admit, though, I both like sympathize with Percy over the course of this chapter, and also have a deep desire to pick on him. Not even taking the future story of his character into account and stuff along
Harry,
those lines.
you're here. I was wondering who was making all that noise. Are you a wizard or aren't you? Soundproofed your fucking
Put a
room.
silencing charm on your door. My God.
Oh man. All I could think to myself though is just sort of like, you'd think he would have been more upset about his mom yelling basically downstairs in the basement, not a couple of people going up the stairs casually talking.
Like, they even mentioned that they could hear her yelling at Arthur from downstairs.
And like up in
As if it's
up in
poor
Ron's
Arthur's
room,
fault.
which is like what, 3 stories up or something?
He's
Yeah.
right under the attic, so yeah.
Oh, man.
That's loud.
Well, you gotta imagine if you've got that much space to cover and everything, you gotta have a loud voice if you need to keep those boys in line.
True. That many
No wonder
boys.
Molly's not hoarse all the time.
No, that much yelling,
Megaphone
she,
charm
no.
operates.
No. Trained her voice.
Oh.
She's used to it. It's like a muscle. Iron voice box.
But yeah, we of course get the introduction for Pigwidgeon. I love the fact that Ginny has basically had a hostile takeover of the owl. Basically, I'm naming him Wait, Ron, you had the entire trip back and you didn't name the owl until it was
Right,
too
like-
late for your sister named him? Oh, no.
And he's like, and then it was too late. It was stuck.
He won't answer to anything else. I'm just sort of like, Ron, bro, you had all this time. You got no one to blame but yourself
Look,
if your
man,
sister
he's
molds this most.
king of procrastination.
I mean, you're not wrong. I do find it funny that Ginny still has her little crush on Harry when we're in when she's in year 3, basically.
But can actually have a conversation with him at least.
And stand in the same room without
Stand in the same
passing
room.
out.
Character development!
Woohoo!
Time to celebrate. Break out the wine and whiskey.
Oh, we got him back there.
How about the butterbeer?
Fresh out.
Damn.
Ah, dang.
To be fair, that shit's expensive.
But so tasty.
I do feel, I like, on the one hand, though, Percy, like, having to do, like, I feel like, in some ways, I feel like Percy was the one that seemed to be going on the right path for Molly and everything, and for everyone to kind of end, like, how everybody kind of ends up and stuff, where the twins become, like, super successful in their endeavors and stuff along those lines, where Percy is alienating himself from the entire family.
And everyone's on the right side.
Yeah.
Except for Percy.
I really do feel for her and everything, because she's so... It's such a parent thing. Like, as a kid and everything, I always like, let them do what they want and everything. As a parent, I can be like, I understand why she's worried about her kids. And it's always the most troublesome kids that you always worry about the most and everything when it comes to it.
I just think it's frustrating that she claims that they have no ambition when they want to literally open up their own store. Like, that's pretty ambitious.
Considering, like, almost everybody else is working for someone else and everything, the two that want to work for themselves are the least yeah, no.
Right. It's kind of like, well, it's kind of like one of those things that, like, even if you try to go off on your own, it's still not, you know, it'd be different if they tried to, like, open a respectable kind of shop.
Yeah, I feel like she'd be more okay with it. But to be honest, a lot of what they invent and stuff proves useful to the point where even...
Or to the ministry.
Yeah. I was going to say to Harry himself, and so
Harry,
it's so effective that even, like, Malfoy starts using some of their actual inventions for his own stuff. It's like...
Peruvian darkness powder.
Yeah, the Hand of Glory combo and everything.
They don't. The Hand of Glory doesn't come from them.
I know, but using
using
that in
both.
conjunction, Malfoy clearly is showing that he doesn't care where something comes from. If it does what he needs it to do, he will use it.
Right, but even like the protective charms that they made as a joke, challenge your friend to a duel, become useful.
That's one of those things where it's like, I feel like you guys should have figured that this might actually have more practical applications outside of making a good laugh.
Right.
Because, like, they had, like, that on all of their gear equipment. And ironically enough, I think Hogwarts Legacy actually uses a similar thing where you can, basically get outfits and uniforms with certain types of defenses and stuff along those lines as well. So it makes me wonder if they rediscovered something that was lost to time over the years.
Right. Perhaps.
But, of course, we have the whole conversation. We have this sly conversation about trying to talk about Sirius over the course of the chapter as well.
Does he
But-
bring up the scar hurting?
No.
No, not yet. That'll be the next
No,
chapter.
because at the end of the chapter, he's like, he thinks about it, but then he's like, I don't want to ruin the moment being
Right.
nice.
Because they had their nice dinner outside. Percy also, of course, subtly hinting, not so subtly, at the Hogwarts event that's happening. And they're like, he's dying for us to ask him about it, but he won't tell us about it, so we're not going to bother asking.
I feel like as soon as you don't ask the first time it gets brought up, at this point it is now a challenge.
He's trying to make it sound as interesting as possible without giving anything away, because he wants to brag about knowing some secret top, thing that they can't know about.
The funny thing is Percy has such a boring personality that anything he'd be finding interesting, most of the family probably wouldn't.
That's true. Like,
if it was
thin bottom cauldrons.
If Charlie or Bill had mentioned something along those lines, or maybe even Mr. Weasley mentioned something along those lines, I'm sure everybody in the household would be infinitely more keen on
Oh,
asking
yes.
about it.
Oh,
But because it's
absolutely.
coming from Percy, it's completely dismissed. And that must bother him more than anything else.
Right.
Probably.
I think it is cool. Why isn't he playing along? I'm trying to be funny.
Because
and
you're
friendly.
a prat, Percy.
He really is enormous. To be honest, I feel like if it's only for the fact that the entire Weasley family needs to be in Gryffindor, I feel like Percy would have been much more at home in Slytherin house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people... He should have been. He's so ambitious, he'll throw his family under the bus.
Yeah, there must have been something inside of him that basically pointed him towards it. It could have been a Harry Potter situation where, like, both bravery and ambition were, like, equals and stuff, and he decided that he wanted to stick with the family, like, tradition of being in Gryffindor and everything.
Yeah.
I could have easily seen him in Slytherin, though.
True.
We of course have the...
If you think about it that way, though, like, ambition, the twins could have been Slytherin, too.
They've got the mentality for it, but I feel like I feel like in terms of overarching, like, doing something even in spite of what your parents, especially, like, even one parent wants you to do and stuff, implies much more bravery than it does ambition in that sense.
Probably.
Like, you gotta be brave to stand up to your parents, and you gotta be brave to stand up to your parents continuously while living under their roof, basically.
Yeah.
Quite a few people are rather keep the peace and stuff and hide who they are and under a roof and everything in order to, avoid the trouble. It takes a certain special type of courage to be, I am who I am. I'm going to be under your roof, and you're just going to have to deal with the fact that that's what I am.
True.
That being said, if you're in a situation, survival is key. You know what I mean?
Right.
That got a little on the dark side. Anyway, I do find it kind of funny that they all head upstairs for a hot second. They wait for all of the arguing to go off, and then they finally head back down. It seems like so
much work. I would have just been like, I'm gonna go out in the yard.
Right.
Honestly,
yeah,
that might have been the smarter move, to be honest. But I suppose retreating to a friend or your own bedroom and stuff when things are getting hairy seems like a really good idea, all things considered, even if not necessarily convenient.
Listen, you're talking to the girl that always ran out to the woods by my house every time my parents started arguing.
Valid.
Fair enough.
It was not my bedroom. It was the woods.
Because you can still hear your parents in the bedroom.
Yep, especially growing up in a trailer. And clearly, even in a 4-story house.
I do like how, like, after Percy's job and stuff along those lines, Percy is just obsessed with Crouch. It's like the fact that their families are.
We want to talk about bi or gay.
Right. It's mostly just idol worship, but yeah. It's like, if you like him that much, why don't you just marry him?
Mr. Crouch thinks this, Mr. Crouch thinks that. I have to admit, though, they really do sprinkle in the whole thing with, what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Bathilda? Bertha.
Bertha
Jorkins. Yeah.
being missing.
And
Harry, like, thinking the name sounded familiar, right? He says that?
I believe so. It's a little vague. She's only just barely touched on, to be perfectly honest. And to be perfectly honest and stuff along those lines, Romania should have been a warning, basically, since, like, I'm pretty confident most of the rumors revolving around Voldemort's whereabouts.
That he was last seen in it. Wait, Romania or Albania?
Yeah, Albania. To be perfectly honest, it is kind of wild to me that the Ministry is having these rumors and stuff. It is common-ish knowledge that people talk about where he's theoretically at and everything, and nobody seems to remember that.
We don't have to avoid that area. We're not going to do anything about it.
Nobody, to be fair, you couldn't kill Voldemort anyway, even if you wanted to. It would be just, you're risking a lot of danger going there.
I mean,
but my issue is the next book is they keep acting like he's dead. Like he's always been dead. Like, the first year one didn't happen and stuff along those lines, and everybody knew that Voldemort was running around that year. It's there's enough people that actively believe he is alive and stuff and running around and everything, and now all of a sudden we've got to deny that he is alive. Period. End of story. And it's just sort of like that seems a little
too many coincidences.
Yeah.
Too many coincidences.
Okay, but guys, look at our current government. Like, is it?
I would rather have fudge than our current government right now, and that's saying something.
It's true.
Wow, yeah, no, I never thought about that, but absolutely 100% yes.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
But the overarching thought process being is that this was a considerable possibility and stuff along those lines for wizards and stuff. So it does kind of baffle me that they're so hard, like, you know, that so many people just buy into the propaganda hook, line, and sinker, basically.
What's even more bewildering is, like, a lot of the adults in this time frame are people who would have been, like, teenagers or kids, or, like, they would have been, like, young adults during World War II with all of the Nazi propaganda. And we're in England. They were a big, major part of the war. Like,
Yeah.
I get their muggles, they probably don't, or their wizards, they probably don't participate in Muggle War, but you're going to tell me a whole group of wizards just don't know anything about World War II?
Yeah, they had their own war going on during World War II.
The Ministry was in London during the Blitz. It's
so
a little
they 100%
difficult.
would have known about
Yeah, it's a little
all
hard.
the Nazi propaganda.
It's a little hard to ignore that when you've got freaking bombs falling on your head to work. But yeah,
that's the story I want. I want to hear how the wizards handled World War II.
They were like Kimmy says, though, they were dealing with Grindelwald during that time period and stuff. So they had their own international Muggle wizarding problems, which very convenient. Those two problems lined up at the same time, or else one might have solved the other very quickly.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the point, though, is that that there was another issue going on that probably prevented wizards from getting involved in World War II. It's there's a lot. It's kind of like praises to Percy Jackson series, that there was one of the things they do in there is the big three had children, and that's part of the whenever they have children, big events can happen, or whenever they're fighting, big events happen where World War II happened. So it was one of those overlapping things. It's because of this, it affects the things in the mundane world.
True.
So it just makes sense to also have that overlap here in Harry Potter. I mean, granted, Harry Potter came first before Percy Jackson,
right. But damn it, Zeus was horny. That's the reason.
I mean, literally 90% of mythological problems. Yeah. Yep.
I have to admit, though.
Or Hera was pissed off.
Hera was pissed off because Zeus was horny.
Yep, that's true.
I do like the little casual conversation though, where they're talking about the World Cup and everything. I honestly, I really loved the little bit of world building and everything.
Ireland lost so badly before, and it's kind of funny that they're specifically more for the Irish rather than the
Bulgarian team.
The England
already lost. They said it was an embarrassment when they got knocked out of the league.
Sorry,
yeah.
that's what it was.
So they're repping the next closest thing.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Wales lost to Uganda, and Scotland was slaughtered by Luxembourg and stuff. And we I think it was went down to Transylvania 390 to 10, said Charlie gloomily. Shocking performance. I have to admit, another little detail that I do love about this chapter is the whole Crunkshanks thing, where he's chasing after the lawn gnomes, and the lawn gnome's just giggling like a lunatic inside of the boot. I really wish we had more little asides of what what Crunkshanks is up to and everything. I don't know why. I just love this cat. The cat has done and will do nothing important since book 3, basically.
But the cat is precious too.
I like that they didn't just be okay, and the cat's never showing up again.
Yeah, she's
Fluffy.
Well, to be fair, how often would you be able to fit in a big 3-headed dog? Which To be fair, I would have appreciated the return of Fluffy for at least the climax of the series.
Yes.
Right,
could've
like,
been, like-
what did you do with... I mean, he probably sent Fluffy back to Greece.
I
Back
think
to
they...
Tartarus.
I think it's been like explained out of universe what happened to him and everything, but I could never really remember it. I think Hagrid had to give up another one of his babies.
Yeah, but
Well, if you
Fair.
guys listening out there remember or look it up before we do, please drop it in the comments. What happened to Fluffy?
But oh, and of course we get one more practical joke from the Weasleys about the whole manure sample.
Oh yeah, Percy getting embarrassed. It was nothing personal.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
We're the
We
ones
sent
that sent it.
It was a manure. It was a fertilizer sample.
was it
It
from
was-
Norway?
it was-
I think he said. Yeah, from Norway.
Yeah. I have to admit, Fred and George are easily one of my favorite characters in this series. I know for a fact that a lot of what they do is damn right dangerous and incredibly mean, especially.
And some of it illegal.
Oh yeah. But dear God, I can't help but love these two knuckleheads. They are easily one of my favorite characters, and I could have
Because
gone
they're
with so much more.
chaos.
Oh, God.
We love chaos. We don't want to deal with
They're
chaos.
chaotic good.
But we
Yeah.
love reading about chaos.
Yeah. We'll get more, like, as their shenanigans pop back up in book 6,
5.
book 5. We'll, of course, retouch back up on the twins and everything. But another, like, overall comment I made is like, it really does kind of feel like Harry's the favorite, even though he's not part of the
Yeah.
family, and I think
It's because he's not part of the family, and that's why he's the favorite. And because he gives Molly lots of respect, and she's like, "Oh my God, if only my kids could be like this."
I just love how she's just like, tell me what? Oh, hi, Harry. Perfect. Tell me what? Narrows eyes back at her
It's
husband.
like back to book 2.
It's just like,
Could have been seen.
Not that I blame you, Harry, dear.
Paws on his window. It's trying to be paws on your window, Ronald. Happy, how are you, my dear?
You look a bit thin. Would you like some breakfast? Oh, I'd love breakfast. None for you.
You can starve.
Harry, you don't have to go help them. Oh, but I've never seen it before. It's really boring. Why don't you just eat? No, it's fine.
proceeds to have so much fun tossing a bunch of grumpy, crotchety-looking old gnomes halfway across. Honestly, that sounds like a really fun chore, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, he
I'd
felt
do that
bad
over
for them at
watching
first, and then ends up throwing it the farthest.
He got bit. Sympathy kind of dries up a little bit.
That's true. I mean, I love my cats. They bite me all the
Hey.
time.
Don't even think about it.
She looks so guilty.
She does. I've got sad
She
puppy
thought
dog
about
and
it.
guilty. Yeah, I
thought-
saw her nibbling on that corner. She's
Ah.
already chewed on it before. But that rug is basically, we've had that for almost a decade at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not that beat up about the rug.
But
If
the
she's-
point is, she doesn't need to be chewing on it.
Yes. She doesn't need to be chewing on any of my things.
Sorry for the interlude, guys. Just a little bit of puppy
Puppy
correction
drama.
time.
But, overall, a relatively short chapter. Maybe,
They name drop a couple of characters. You know, Ludo Bagman,
Crouch.
Crouch.
To be
Jorkins.
to be honest,
Bertha
like
Jorkins.
they are really like they're really seasoning the mystery fairly quickly over the course of these first 5 chapters.
True.
But yeah,
I love that we had the little bit of Molly at the very end, like, here, Bill, I wish you just let me give it a trim, and she's just, like, fingering
He's
the
like,
wand, like,
what
just
are
let me
your-
do it.
What is the bank saying? They're like, we don't care. And Ginny coming back with the Dumbledore's hair is longer.
I was like, you can't really argue with that logic and stuff. But a
That's
man's
because he's old and eccentric. So like,
It's allowed.
Well, why can't Bill be old and eccentric?
Because then Molly has to accept that she's old, and she's not willing to do that.
That's such a mom thing to say.
Exactly!
it's true.
Listen, we had the realization at work a couple weeks ago that we were like all the birthdays that were coming up this year, and like we were talking about Tito and Kanji turning 8, and we're like, no, man, no, it can't be that. And then we were talking, and we're like, holy shit, Rose is gonna be 9, and Luke is gonna be 5, and Reese is gonna be 1, who is my boss's baby, and we're like, oh my god.
That's
We're
crazy.
like, where did the time go? So yes, that is a very mom thing to say.
Yeah, my nephew's gonna be 17.
Oh my god.
I'm like, what? I remember when you were a child. You're still a child, but like I remember when you were
More of a
small.
child. More of a
I
child.
could throw you over my shoulder. Actually, I could probably still throw him over my shoulder.
Oh, I tell Rose and Luke all the time that it doesn't matter how big they are, they're still never gonna be big enough to take me down.
Watch, Luke ends up like 6 feet tall.
Are you kidding me? I can pick up my brother-in-law and stuff and throw him over my shoulder, and that son of a gun's what?
He's 6'2".
Yeah.
Oh,
and you beat up your brother.
Kimmy, you say it like a joke, but do you realize how tall Luke is for his age?
Nope.
He's very tall.
Oh, is he?
Like last year in his 3-year-old class, he was the tallest kid. And I haven't seen his whole class right now, but like he's very tall. Should be in 4T pants and be able to fit them fine. But he is flooding them. There are capris on him. He's so tall. We've already had this conversation a couple of times. We 100% believe he's gonna easily be 6 foot.
Well, I guess he didn't get his dad's genes.
No.
He got
his mom's kid through and through.
Yep.
Not necessarily this could be a problem. I know how, like, a lot of women these days are definitely all interested in the men over 6 foot and everything, so depending on his behavior and attitude, I might have a problem.
Listen, the girls can want him all they want, as long as he's respectful.
And responsible.
Respectful
Mostly
and responsible.
Mostly respectful, but also definitely responsible.
I don't need my babies having babies.
They're not allowed to have kids until they're 30.
For the sake of my sanity, I would appreciate it. But I can't really complain too much considering my age I had kids.
But anyway, we should probably get back to Harry Potter. We'll wrap up this podcast. You guys don't want to hear about our personal lives.
Fair enough. I don't really have anything else to really add with this overarching chapter. I've touched on all of mine.
It's a nice little slice of life at the Weasley's house.
Can we talk about Bill and Charlie with the tables?
Oh.
The whole, like, chapter.
Boys will be, this is what we mean when boys will be boys. Is that they're gonna, no matter how old they get, they're gonna have table battles in the yard.
They're gonna duel. But you know what?
At least they fixed the tables afterwards.
They fixed it. They cleaned up their mess. They didn't leave table legs splintered all over.
To be fair, that is very handy. You could get into a lot of destructive trouble and not have any issues if you're capable of fixing everything with magic afterwards.
True.
Percy being a wet blanket over the horse, the whole process is hilarious. Is the older, like, everybody in the family, that's this guy's sibling is giving him shit.
Shouting out at them. Again, charms on your window, dude.
You're legally allowed to use magic whenever the hell you want now and everything, and you couldn't be bothered to put up a silencing charm.
Also, Percy, you're an adult. Move out.
Right.
Work at the office.
That brings up a good question. They have Bill and Charlie home, taking the twins' room. So the twins are bunking with Ron. Harry's bunking with Ron. Hermione's going to bunk with Ginny.
Obviously.
They, at one point, had all of them kids, minus Harry and Hermione. All of the Weasley kids were under that roof at one time.
Oh, man.
So was it
They shared rooms.
They had to have.
Bill and Charlie probably shared a room for a while.
I would think, depending on the timeline and everything, they may have lucked out to some degree and kept a room, so it makes me wonder who got forced to bunk with who. The older brothers being, grouped together and everything makes some semblance of sense.
It almost makes you wonder if maybe Percy and Ron got bunked together.
I think they did for a little while.
There are a couple of chapters where they do it during the course of the series where both, I think it was book 3, they were actually bunking together.
Yeah.
When they were at,
in Egypt.
Yeah.
That would make the most sense. Like, Bill and Charlie, because, they're going to be the two oldest, but then you have the twins. They're obviously going to be bunking together. Yeah, normally. And so then that just leaves Percy, Ron, and Ginny, but, Ginny's gonna get the privilege of having her own room or bunking with Mom because she's a girl.
True, because that would have been an extra room for a while until Ginny was born.
Right. So I'm guessing, like, once Ginny was born and everything,
Not
somebody...
by much. Ginny's only a year younger than Ron.
And chances are,
Oh,
up
right,
until
yeah.
up
it
until
sounds like it. I'd have
up
to
until a
check
certain age, Ginny and Ron probably shared a room, being the
up until they were
youngest.
probably like 8 or 10
'Cause,
or
like,
something.
when-
Yeah, once
I was-
it got to a certain age.
Because I think I shared a room with my sister and my brother until my brother was about 5 or 6. Because me and my sister had bunk beds on one half of the room, and he had a bed on the other side.
Yeah.
We didn't have for my early points in life and stuff along those lines. We kind of, like, me and my sister had to share a room as well. But that was after we moved out of the trailer the first go around and stuff along those lines. We never really had that problem after, so there was never really a dividing point. I was happy to have my own damn room.
My family usually had at least 4 kids living at home until my oldest sister went to college. So, like, me and my younger sister had to share a room. My little brother got his own room because he was the only boy at the time, and my older sister had her room. But then, when my older sister moved out, I was able to finally get my own room.
Yeah. I think I shared a room with my brother. We're 6 years apart. Until I was in 6th grade.
I'm guessing once Ron and Ginny got old enough and everything,
Yeah.
they probably had to reevaluate who was staying in what room.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Percy and Ron didn't have to bunk with each other up until a certain point. And the second one of the older brothers,
Yeah. So
both of
probably Ron had to start bunking with Percy when Ron or Ginny starting to hit prepubescent.
Right.
And then they probably started.
It's possible that the twins shared a room with Percy for a while.
That's also possible.
Because right now the twins are bunking with Ron in his room.
Because Percy had to have his own room so he could work.
That's some blatant favoritism there.
But it's only while Bill and Charlie are in town.
Yeah.
It's still kind of blatant favoritism, though, that he gets to have his own, like, when he's not the only boy that's coming home to work.
I don't understand why they can't just
together,
magic another room.
You would think. Because that's kind of like the vibe you get with their whole house. But no, I looked it up. So Bill was born in 1970, Charlie 1972. Percy was born 4 years later in 1976. Fred and George 2 years later in 1978. 2 years later, Ron at 1980, and then Ginny in 1981. So they were having a child like every other year, basically, until Ron and Ginny.
There is a 4-year gap, though. So.
I said almost.
It does make me, like, how old would have been Bill when...
You gotta wrap this up. I gotta go.
Okay, sorry.
When Ginny was born, Bill would have been 11.
Okay, so
he would have been heading off to Hogwarts.
That probably would have made things easier.
Yeah,
because then you'd only have to have him in a room for him specifically in the house.
For the 2 or 3 months.
Exactly. That might have definitely helped.
But you guys can find me at Luna's Creation Corner if you want more of my content. I was gonna start my crochet all the Pokemon series, but unfortunately, at the time of recording this, I fell and sprained my wrist. Oops.
Speedy recoveries.
So, hoping for a speedy recovery so I can get on that.
I'm looking forward to it. Anyway,
That's because you're gonna claim all the stuff I make.
No, I would
You better
never.
He's gonna try to claim all the stuff I make.
I've got an entire basement of space that I can make use of.
You just gotta make sure that your dog doesn't get them.
Shelves, hammocks, whatever.
She's already torn up a couple of my books, gotten multiple holes in both of the couches and everything. I think I can find a couple of places that she can't get to, at least for right now.
Yeah. Don't trip. You can take the baby gate down, Kimmy, before you go. Anyway, plug your stuff. Oh. You can find me on YouTube at Brandywine Stitches, and on the rest of the socials at Hockeytown Candle Co.
Twitch, Cole Sanders. I'm still streaming through Persona 3 Reloaded. Oftentimes Mondays and Wednesdays. I might stream random stuff over the course of the week, so feel free to stop by and say hi. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and keep your wands at the ready. We'll see you next time here on A Journey to King's Cross.